We thought the horror video games were all about being chased, but Alien Isolation proved something completely different. It's not chasing you, it's learning you. Most horror games create tension by spawning enemies on rails. They appear, you run, scripted scare, and reset. But Alien Isolation doesn't do that at all. Alien Isolation built something that players weren't ready for, and that is an enemy that doesn't follow the simple patterns, because it's studying yours. And that changes horror from being just a haunted house to being psychological warfare.
We think we may have found her, Amanda. We get to shut the book. Ripley.
To understand why Alien Isolation is a game that feels different a decade later, we need to talk about how horror video games and horror AI and the technology of horror was built, how it used to work. Before this game, horror AI fell into two different categories. It was scripted threats. This is your Outlast games, your Amnesia, your PT style design. The monster appears at a preset moment. And number two was predictable patrol enemies. This is gonna be your Resident Evil games, your Dead Space games, enemies following loops, learn the loop and survive. These systems are scary at first, but your brain adapts. Once you kind of learn the rules and figure it out, fear becomes optimized. It's optimization. You're not scared at that point, you're managing a risk. It's why by the end of video games, sure, scary moments do pop up in most cases, but you're still kind of figuring it out. Alien Isolation breaks that completely because Creative Assembly did something insane. They gave the Alien two AI systems. They gave it the Director AI, and this is the game's invisible master. It knows where you are, how long you've been safe, how stressed you are, how well you're playing. And its job is to keep the tension high, not jump scares, but pressure. And then there's the Alien AI, and this is the monster brain. It has its vision and its hearing and its environmental awareness, and it remembers behaviors. Because if you start to hide in lockers, it's gonna check the fucking locker. If you use vents a lot, it starts ambushing them. If you sprint too much, it listens for footsteps. It adapts to you. It's the way it's awful. It's awful.
We wanted to make the alien scary again.
Depending on how cautious players are, we've seen encounters in Alien Isolation last well over 30 minutes in some cases, and this just can't be done with scripted behavior. As soon as the player can predict a pattern in the alien, it stops being scary. It doesn't follow any prescribed path or set of behaviors that are telling it to do specific things. It's just reacting to the player's presence and the choices that the player makes.
So the alien really is hunting you. It is using active senses and moment-to-moment decision-making to hunt you down and kill you.
The game teaches you that the alien is unpredictable, but secretly it is predictable because it's based on you and your habits and what you're doing wrong at that moment. You're training your own predator. It feels horrible because it is, because you have to get through that situation somehow. But this is why it feels different, because most horror games make you afraid of the monster. Alien Isolation is making you afraid of your own decisions. If you rely on something too much to survive, that's the thing that's gonna get you killed. You start tricking yourself because you don't think, where the hell is the alien? You think about the mistakes that you made 10 minutes ago that's gonna get you killed now. That is psychological horror, because now fear isn't coming from the screen, it's not coming from what was put in front of you to overcome, it's coming from your own self-doubt. Humans survive by learning patterns, and Alien Isolation punishes that instinct altogether. Every time you rely on a strategy, the game tells the alien, hey, just so you know, this guy or gal likes to do that, so go get him. So then the alien counters that because you aren't fighting an enemy, you're fighting an algorithm reacting to what you do in real time. That's why players say that the alien feels alive. It's not alive, it's a video game, but it is responsive. And in doing so, the game taps into something deeper. It's the loss of control. Like I said before, most horror games, you learn the rules, you learn how to adapt, you learn how they're going to chase you, the patterns that they may come from. You are smart enough to realize that the monster might be around this dark corner that looks different from every other corner that you've previously explored. In Alien Isolation, mastery makes you visible and strategy creates vulnerability. The more confident you get, the more likely the alien is gonna eat your head. Your confidence that makes you feel like the shit is going to be your undoing. It's a trap. Even the sound design is AI fuel, something you can't even really control all that much unless you don't want to run away. The alien doesn't just react to code, it reacts to motion tracker beeps and locker breathing and gunshots and sprinting. Even player panic feeds the system. You start crouch walking and hiding longer and moving slower because throughout the game, it changes your behavior in real life. That is great immersion, but it's immersion through fear controlling. It's immersion through making you feel terrified every single minute you turn on your console. And this is why it works better than action horror, because most modern horror turns into shooting and power fantasy and survival action, and Alien Isolation says, hey pal, you're not the predator. You're gonna die. There's no boss fights, there's no power-ups, there's just survival, which makes every encounter feel like a real mistake, not a scripted moment. But the genius twist of it all is that the alien isn't allowed to know everything at that moment in real time. The director AI, it leaks information slowly. So that creates the illusion that the alien is learning, stalking, tracking. It feels organic, even though it's carefully designed chaos. If the alien figured out your movements and how you acted 25% way through the game, then there is no game. But if it learns it throughout the entirety of the story, suddenly it starts to feel like that alien is more real than what it's letting on, and it's learning throughout the entire process. It's not just the alien is learning, got it, and then you gotta play the rest of the game to survive that. It's getting better and understanding you throughout this entire story. And the lesson is this, is that Alien Isolation didn't make horror feel louder, it made it feel smarter. It proves something modern horror forgets, and that fear doesn't come from what you see, it comes from not knowing if your strategy is gonna work or not. The alien doesn't chase you, it studies you. And that flips the power dynamic in horror. You aren't escaping a monster, you're being hunted by something that evolves based on your behavior. And most horror games try to scare you. Alien Isolation makes you feel like you're being watched. And once a game makes you feel like you're being watched, you never feel safe again.
Now again, sound is critical because when you're hiding in the dark, what you can hear might just be the key to your survival.
Let me know what you think about Alien Isolation in the comments below. There's a reason I think that this is one of the most popular horror games ever made. I remember when this game came out, it did something completely different. Despite the fact that it's in a world that is lived in quite a lot, and the Alien franchise is not a new thing, but putting you in it, now that is fucking scary. And doing this method of creating your monster in a way where it learns the player's behaviors, that is fucked up. If a game ever genuinely makes you feel anxious just by walking down a hallway, it was probably this one that did it the best. Let me know what game I should cover in the next episode or video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really does help a lot. If you want to see what we do next, please consider clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video. But I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, adios, and bye-bye.